So, Novocaine. Yeah, it was pretty average, pretty much what you'd expect. The only thing is, there's this fairly obvious twist that you can just basically figure out in the middle of the bank robbery. I mean, you might expect it, at the very least, you expect it at the middle of the bank robbery. And like from that point on, you basically know what's gonna be revealed. Now, the thing is, I thought it would have been more, towards the end, I kind of expected that he'd get really wrecked. And as he gets wrecked, she like goes, "Oh no, sorry," reaction shots thing. That could have been annoying. I'm glad they didn't go that route. They went a different route, and it was a pretty awesome route. Gotta admit, it's a pretty awesome and action sequence. Yeah, none of these people are real. Like, like past a certain point, they just don't feel real. But they do have this, like, just fun factor from it looks like something you'd imagine being made during the 80s or 90s with this exact same idea. And it was pretty good. Pretty good. Except for, like, the only thing that feels kind of modern is the guy has a PC and the weird tattoo stuff. And I have no idea why they gave a certain someone a certain tattoo. I think it was just like a goofy cliche thing, but I think the assistant to the tattoo guy was Asian, so it's like I don't get it. Like why would he have that neck tattoo if his assistant is Asian? Like I mean, I kind of get it as like a cliche thing, but they're not like two groups of people cohabitating different parts of a building. They're like, there's the assistant, there's the guy, and the sister is like half Indian looking, like ethnic looking. So why would the sister be vaguely associated with the some of the logic like pretty blatantly falls apart, like, but it's not designed to be very logical. It's just supposed to be goofy fun. And yeah, the ending was pretty fun. There is this one problem though. We left before the end credits. If there is like a secret scene after the credits, like the very last scene before the credits roll, I could have sworn that guy should have bitten off his tongue. It's a joke that's like set up really early on, and I never got a resolution for that. Also, I think she'd get at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years later, type of thing. Like the time skip towards the end was only 1 year. I'm really not sure with that. Like I feel like it should have been like 2 years later, not 1 year later, because the manager, the actual manager, did actually die in the thing. So that's like a tiny nitpick that annoys me. Like, how can you make a joke about the guy being a rich white guy when you're also making the other joke that you're basically making another joke that a hot, pretty ethnic chick is also gonna get really small, very little time in jail, basically. Which is a thing happening in New York. Like, there's like an overcorrection in the justice system where really ridiculously obvious criminal people are just getting away with stuff, and it's just absurd. Like maybe if they threw in like a she's a witness talking about this and that or something like that. I don't know. Maybe if certain someone didn't actually die from the arrow in the leg and the arrow just ended up in his cheek and he was alive at the I didn't watch any scene after the credits. I like it was like really late. We got out at like 0:30 a.m. and I feel like a little bit more editing could have made it a little bit better, but in general, it's just awesome, dumb fun. And I really appreciate that it's just fun, dumb fun bullshit, you know? And it doesn't overdo it and doesn't take itself too seriously. I feel like there's been a couple of movies lately that should have had a wide release like this. Like, for example, Boy Kills World. Why didn't that get at least in my country, didn't get a theatrical release, and it was very annoying. I kind of get why Werewolves didn't get a theatrical release, because Werewolves should have got like 10 or 15 minutes extra at the beginning, at the end, to flesh it out a bit. So that's more of a streaming thing, but I can definitely see a cut of Werewolves with a little bit more character development becoming a theater thing. Yeah, like I feel like there's probably a bunch of movies that I'm missing right now that should be in theaters. And whatever really, really fun stuff shows up in theaters, I always miss it for like 2 or 3 days, and all of a sudden it's at midnight. Like it's a really, really late date. Like at least in Bulgaria, that's an issue because I don't know if it's like Disney style, like theater bargaining bullshit, theater spot bargaining nonsense, or whatever. But it is very strange to see something like Cinderella getting all these spots throughout the day, but like Heretic is there for like a second and then it's gone. Heretic is a really good movie. Nosferatu is a good movie. Nosferatu managed to make some amount of bank from what I got. I just like I feel like this movie is making me think about, you know, corporate nonsense. And we just need more movies like this. They're just fun. Just plain dumb fun. This movie, other movies like it, it's cheap. It's not the best thing in the world. It's just fun. There's no excuse for why the Nick Cage Frankenstein movie only made 23 million. That, the same way as this thing, was out for like a second, and it's probably going to go away really quickly. It's very annoying. So if you do get like a chance to watch it, I definitely recommend watching it in theaters. Yeah, it's a pretty okay movie. I feel like there's one thing that's keeping this movie from being like a little bit more profitable, and I'm just gonna say it. There should have been a sex scene, like more of a sex scene, that like a sex scene that shows skin. Like a lot of celebrities complain about sex scenes being everywhere, but those sex scenes are just ugly lit, ugly things. There's barely any sex scenes anymore. That's another problem with today's movies. Like, there's no possible reason why you wouldn't have sexy scenes. Like everybody knows that they're gonna make a lot more money. Everybody knows that all the chicks are gonna be asked to pose for Playboy or Maxim magazine or whatever. There's no reason. There's just no reason. It's an unnecessary PG-13 rating. I don't know what it's rated at actually. It's like trying to make everything a little bit more PG-13, but everybody goes to these things to get more to watch blood and gore. So why would you make a PG-13? That's ridiculous. I just I just I'm picturing certain types of people in the background subtly tilting every decision to make things more PC, more lame, more lazy. But like, really, why the fuck would you have Amber Midthunder in this movie and not have her show some skin? Like, Novocaine kind of showed a little bit of skin. That's the thing. That's weird. Like, I mean, come on. But make it a little bit more sexy next time. I'm pretty sure sooner or later someone's gonna make a sequel of this because it's cheap, dumb fun, and everybody seems likable. I really think they should show some skin, a little bit more skin in the next one. And that's pretty much about it. I can't really think of anything else to say. It's just, it's okay. It's a fun, dumb watch. Go watch it.